All right. Welcome to the Monday night call, guys. Good to see all your faces, or, well, it's actually mainly just names because everybody's got their videos off, but good to have everyone here. Yeah, I'm really excited for tonight's call on a very important topic in this business, one that I personally can struggle with at times. So I'm glad I'm not taking the call. But we're very lucky. We've got Laura, who's gonna run us through tonight. So Laura, she got started with ISA nearly a year ago. They have their 1 year anniversary in a couple of weeks, which is pretty exciting. Which for some people is more exciting than a wedding anniversary, the ISA anniversary. So yeah, but initially just got on board to get her health back on track, lose a couple of kilos, and then it's turned out to completely transform her life. So as you can tell, she's pretty passionate about it. This time a year ago, she probably would have struggled to have a conversation with somebody and feel relaxed in it. And now she's about to do a training call. So yeah, it's awesome. So I'm really excited to get stuck into it tonight, Laura. So on that note, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Tully, and thank you for inviting me to share this with everyone. So like Tully said, like a year ago, I couldn't even get on the phone with people. I couldn't message people. I like leaving the house in general because of social anxiety, and just I used to get overwhelmed quite a fair bit. That was it was a mission. So Isagenix has totally transformed my life and given me like more than just my physical health back. It's been incredible. And
Awesome.
Every time my mum talks about Isagenix, she cries because she's so happy for me.
That's so good.
And so for me, so we were talking about follow-ups, and for me, it was really important to get out of the overwhelm of follow-ups. That's where we have a lot of these awesome templates and stuff, but I found myself, it was just coming down to actually doing it, and there was a lot of overwhelm there. So I've tried so many different tactics over the course of a year, and I'm a bit of an organisation freak, so I don't accept when things don't work. I want to find a new way to do something, or a new app to do something. So what I found very useful recently, especially with the implementation of the 90-day game plan and ISA Derby and everything, is tracking. So why it's helpful to track our work and our IPA is that it helps you avoid overwhelm. So it gets you out of that. It becomes just a process, like getting up, having a shower, brushing your teeth. It just becomes something you do. One thing I did notice, that as I would have a good moment, like following up, and then I might have a moment where then it all just gets overwhelming and too hard, and then was kind of dropping off doing any IPA for it could be days, weeks.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to that. I know I can. You get inspired and you send 50 messages out, and then you get all these responses, and then you're like, and then you don't do anything with it. Yeah, I think put your hand up if you can relate to that. Yeah, has your hands gone up? Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so tracking. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, so there's kind of three main areas that I track, and that's leading into the making follow-up super easy. So I track how many new, and so I do all my tracking in the 90-day game plan book.
Yeah, cool.
I did tweak the book a bit to suit my style.
Nice.
That's all I go.
Because you can do that.
Yeah. So I start with the new connections. So if I always, making sure that I'm doing, so based on your goals, you have a number of, so you would have all heard the 3x3x3. So based on your goals, there's a number that fits into that. So whether it's 3 by 3 by 3, 5 by 5 by 5, 10 by 10 by 10, whatever it is to suit your goals in your life. And so adding those new contacts and tracking that you're hitting those every day, it just means that then when it's time to do new conversations and follow-ups, you've got people there to talk to. And so hot tip for that one is download your Facebook friends list, go to your deleted or removed friends. That's a list of all the people that aren't currently on your Facebook list or friends list that at some point or another in your life, you were friends on Facebook with them. So at one point in your life, you had a relationship with these people. So for me, this is like, I don't even have to search for new people for weeks now. I've got them on the list there going through, and that's been super, made it super easy because you just add them when you get them the notification in the messenger, just shoot them a message. Hey, how you going? Oh my gosh, you just popped up in my suggested friends list, even though they didn't. And I thought, whoa, what a blast from the past. Oh my gosh, what are you doing? What are you up to now? What do you do with yourself? I'm literally a 95% rate of them writing back.
Yeah, wow. Amazing.
Yeah, super helpful. So then
that's epic.
Going on, the next thing I track is new conversations started. And so I factor in both ISA conversations and general conversations, and I actually split them down to do 2 separate things. So
cool.
I'm doing 5 by 5 by 5. I have 5 ISA conversations, 5 general conversations. So what I found from celebration seemed to come out a lot was building genuine relationships. And I found when I wasn't tracking the conversations, I was literally just focusing on ISA, like talk to me and listen. It never felt genuine, and it just, yeah, and then I would get overwhelmed, and then, you know, you wouldn't want to follow up because you've followed up with them 10 million times about ISA and they're not talking to you anymore, and it's awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I track with my new conversations when I get them started. So tracking the ISA specific ones, that's where you reach out to people on your power posts that have liked or commented.
Gotcha.
That's a good indicator of if you're not doing enough power posts or creating enough interest.
Guilty.
And then, and then your initial conversations with, like just your general, like I've added you from my suggested friends and you get those conversations. Then comes the follow-ups, which is like, my favorite part. So I track, and again, I track both, I separate it, and I track ISA specific follow-up and general follow-ups.
And this all fits in that 90-day game plan book? You track all these in that?
Yeah. So can you guys see that?
It's a little bit blurry. I might get you to take a photo and post it in Be Free, if that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I've found with the follow-ups, by tracking the numbers, because hands up, does anyone get to the end of the day and feel guilty that they haven't done enough work? Yeah. And then it gets to the next day, and then you're feeling a little bit more guilty, and then you're feeling overwhelmed, and then you just decide not to do anything. And then it gets a week later and you feel really bad. So for me at the moment, my number is 7. So 7 by 7 by 7 by 7. So if I get to the end of the day and I've done like my 7, new contacts, new conversations, 7 ISA follow-ups, 7 general follow-ups, I'm like, yes, awesome day. Feel really good. Vibing really well. And so the energy stays up. And so with the follow-ups, so I've got all my contacts list, and I'm going to show you how I track that as well. But you can essentially if you've got someone on your list that you need to follow up, it's a case of either sending them an ISA tool, or might be adding them to your the well page, or requesting to add them to you're inviting them to an event, things like that. Then if you do that, tick that off your list. Then general follow-ups are more for building relationships, and so there'll be some people where you're just talking, ISA hasn't come up. You also have a couple of people where you've been talking about ISA and then it's just gone dead and it's gone weird. And so that's where you want to throw in a general follow-up, and that's kind of like, hey, I'm still your friend, I'm going to talk to you about things not ISA related, blah, blah, blah. And so you might have something specifically that you know about them, or what I do to get general follow-ups is I just go into their Facebook page, have a look at their first couple of posts, and you might see something that inspires you. So then I go back into the message and then write something along the lines of, like, for example, it might be, oh my gosh, I just saw that post you did about the girls. I can't believe how old they're getting. You know, how old are the girls? What are they doing? You know, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, like, how old are they now? And so they come back, like, genuinely most of the time, especially if you've asked a question and it's about something personal, they come back and then all of a sudden you're back in that nice conversation with them. And so you might be like, because sometimes people feel like they get just as overwhelmed and have weird idiosyncrasies as we do. So you might write to them about ISA and then they're like, oh, I'll respond to that tomorrow. And then they don't. And then you write to them again and you're like, oh, and then they've forgotten to respond to you again. And then they're like, oh, she keeps asking me and I've forgotten and it's really weird. And now I'm just going to, like, avoid her altogether. Yeah. And so, it's not just us that get overwhelmed. People get overwhelmed as well. So having that general follow-up thrown in there, I have found to be, it gets that ball rolling in on the conversation. And a follow-up as well, especially with the kind of general, Ellie, you might have done a couple of general ones and you're still getting no traction from them. And so then, like, another form of follow-up can be going onto their Facebook page and on their first couple of, like, on one of their first posts, actually writing a really nice comment or something like that, you know, with a question in there. I always with a question because I kind of need to answer it. But anyway, like, I think you can fall into the trap that a follow-up is only an ISA, like only sending a tool or asking them if they're ready to start. But it's so much when you're looking at just building genuine relationships, it can be so, like, it can be anything. It can be, like, it's so much broader than just the follow-ups. Does that all make sense?
That's good.
Kind of tracking everything. Does anyone have any questions?
Sorry, guys, I just dropped out.
For him to jump back on.
Am I back?
He wants to record the next bit. You there, Tully?
Yeah, I'm back.
Just keep going. Still
Cool. So, hi. Cool. So if you don't mind, I can just quickly, I was going to share my screen and show you how I track my follow-ups in the calendar.
Yeah, please do. And just while you're sharing screen, just trying to find a spot in the house that's got good internet. Gemma has posted in Be Free a list of 12, like that point about how you might just follow up with a comment on the photo, or there are like 12 different ways to follow up. And Gemma posted that in Be Free, and it was a game changer. Georgie trained on that at ISA Uni, And that to me, really changed the game. And then just track them as a general follow-up. I love that you've broken them up. That I'm going to start using that straight away.
Yeah. I'm just finding getting to the end of the day and there's a lot less overwhelmed, and because we do talk a lot about how when you're not feeling good, you don't attract good things. And so for me, a lot of it is to do with, just getting out of overwhelm and just, not getting to the end of the day feeling overwhelmed or guilty that I haven't done enough. So can you guys all see my screen now? Yep, awesome. So as you can see, I do like organisation. I schedule everything. So this is Google Calendar. So this was a tip that I got from Warren Lance at Celebration in Brisbane. So what's awesome with utilising Google Calendar is that it's across. So I have this on my computer. I've got it on my phone. The awesome thing with this is that if my phone's dead, I can jump on my computer and it's all there. If my phone's dead and my computer's dead, I can jump on Fabian's phone, log into Gmail, open up Google Calendar, all my information's there. And then even if my phone gets stolen, I get my new phone, download Google Calendar, all my information's there. So I've found that I've tried using a paper book, but I find that really messy and names were getting missed. And I also found the spreadsheet on the computer, because I wasn't with my computer every day and every minute, I found it was hard to kind of keep it up to date. So I've been doing this method for a little while and I'm finding it quite helpful. Now, this obviously is suited to people who like systems and a lot of structure, which is good for me, but I do understand that some people don't like this system as well, just because they like a bit more looseness. So as you can see, so between the time of 12 and 6 a.m, I'm sleeping, so I don't actually have anything in my calendar. So I use that time just to use that space just as almost like an Excel document, but it just means that I've got it there all the time. So what happens is I will have, so I've started a new conversation with someone, and then we've gotten onto the subject of Isagenix. So this is only for people that you're in an Isagenix conversation with. So for example, all I would do is just create a new, you can see here. So all I do is FUP, so that's just follow up. I put their name and then I add in any kind of, you can add in notes, or I can add in if I've added them to like the Be Well page, things like that. So at a glance, you can see their name. So Amanda's got call notes. And so things like, I'll just show you, changes. So for example, where's this gentleman? So in the appointment, I've added all these, like the call notes, his goals, things like that. So if I'm ever on the run and I'm doing because originally I had their call notes. So we had a 3-way call. He didn't get started, but I do know all this information about him. And so initially I was actually just carrying around that piece of paper with the notes that I took from the call. Whereas I found being able to put it into this space, it means I've always got it on the run. If I follow him up and he's like, hey, yep, I want to have a call to get started right now, I can look at his information and then give him a call and be like, hey, these are your goals. This is the pack that's going to be the best for you. Let's get started. So I've found that quite useful. The other so what I then do is, so for example, just say I follow up Jess Lilly. So I then move her a week out. So then on Sunday, I know, okay, just check in, make sure I've followed up with her this week. So the names on the list are just to make sure that you're following up with people regularly. So Emily Bavra, is it Emily? Yeah. She is not to go more than 7 days without
touching base.
Following up.
Yeah, I love this system.
Yeah, so I'm glad you're getting some. Sometimes I feel my brain gets a little bit too systematic.
No, it's good. It's really good.
Yeah, so there's going to be people who they're like, oh, hey, so just for example, Jess. So she might be like, oh, hey, I've got this on and that on and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to start till, can we talk about this in the first week of May? So I'm like, yep, sure. Go into her appointment, pop in whatever, 1st of May, save. And then I forget all about her. And then on that week, there she is, ready to be followed up again.
Oh, love it. This is good. This is very good.
Oh, good. So, so the other really cool thing about, and obviously there's the drag and drop, so you can literally just move people, wherever you.
Yeah. So where do you get your master list?
So my master list at the moment is, I have my master list is my Facebook friends list.
Gotcha. So that's on paper, and then once you're in an Isagenix conversation, transfer them into this. Yeah.
So I have the Facebook friends list in an Excel spreadsheet, but it's not something that I check every day. It's just there to be printed off every now and again.
Yeah.
And so this is pretty much like if I feel like I don't have anyone to talk to, I just look at these few pages. So that makes it quite easy. And so the other cool thing with doing it in Google Calendar, so for example, if I was like, oh my gosh, we've got this awesome, we've got the new packs coming and we've got there's a $25 off or the free memberships. I'm going to send this a nice kind of generic, I'm going to do up a flyer and send a nice private message to all of the people I've spoken to about Isagenix just to let them know and see if that would help them get started. So you can search your calendar, and because I code everything the same, you search follow-up or FUP and you've got a list there of all the people.
Nice.
Then the other thing you can then do, obviously if you're trying to look for someone and get their call notes, you can search this way. So just say, I'm looking for Chris. So I've got him there. I can open up, get all his notes, things like that. Other useful thing is if you pop into the appointments, if you pop in that you've added them into Be Well, or in our case, Cleanse Your Life, you can then search Cleanse Your Life, and you've got all the reds are the people that you've added into. Actually, I think I used to do it like this. You've got all the people that you've added into Cleanse or into your Cleanse page. So if you're wanting a list of people that you've added in and you want to just touch base with them, you've got that there. And I don't know why all these other, there it is, but so you can use the search tool to kind of search for things. So I'm just finding that's because it's systematic. I wake up every morning and I'm like, I have to do some follow-ups, look in my calendar, and you might have a good day where you can do 20 or 30, but at least you've got your bare minimum there ready and possibly more ready there to go.
Yeah, love it.
So that's my kind of system.
Love it. Yeah, that's so good. I'm going to start using it. I've been looking at Google Calendar for a while now, and this is enough to get me over the edge and actually start using it.
Yeah, and so when I go full time and I'm not working, which should be very soon, which is exciting.
Oh yeah.
My vision is that, say, in 6 months' time or a few months' time, I won't even use this as a calendar. It will literally just be a list of names on every single day.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Awesome. How is it as functional? Just a question from Christine and Paul. Laura, had you used Apple Calendar before? Is it as functional?
I don't think I have used the Apple Calendar.
I know Google
No.
Calendar is pretty functional. Like it's a pretty good system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I have used that one before. The only thing with that was making sure you have, so Google Calendar you can get on Android and iPhone,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not sure you can get the iCalendar on
Yeah.
PC. So yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm sure if you do the same things, you could definitely use any calendar the same way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Awesome. And what kind of things are you like? Do you have a go-to follow-up? Like, are you always following up with reference to an info session or an event coming up, or are you quite templated with your follow-ups, or do you just sort of see where the conversation's been? Or because I know people are like, yeah, wicked, but what are you actually saying? How are you not being weird about it? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Cool. So so with the follow-up, so if it's obviously all these ones are ISA specific. So I do have in my phone, in my notes, a list of kind of our main links.
Mm-hmm.
And so usually, so initially it's kind of like sending them a link about the, if it's with Mary Evans or David Jilk's link, things like that. Vivian's also really good at finding really specific links to the individual. So Vivian kind of chats with them initially first, and they're like, oh, they're a sporty person. They're like gym, but they're not really getting very good at games. You'll send them like the Team Isogenics or something like that, rather than like the Just Cleanse or something.
Yeah.
So we have templates where it's just like a little block of going saying, hey, this is a really great clip from Mary Evans, who's also a personal trainer, blah, 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 and then you send that through. And then as far as following up after that, it's a case of checking in and seeing if they've had a chance to look at the clip and what they liked about it. So I always ask them what they like, not did you like it, but what you liked about it. And I always try, and there'll be some that are really clear cut that, it's an ISA follow-up. They're like, watched a clip, you ask them if they watched, they're like, yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, and it's just straight. The ones that are a little bit like funny, I like to do a friendship sandwich. So I start with like the first maybe sentence or two is like something like they might have said something in their previous thing. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm glad you've had a great week. That sounds awesome. Then it's something about ISA. So it's like, if I send you a clip, would you check it out? If I added you into the, would you like it if I added you into our cleanse support page? And then, so I just kind of, I try as much as possible now to blend as much relationship building, because I found that in the past I would specifically only ask about ISA and I wouldn't get responses. Whereas if you can throw in, so start with, you might ask them something general like, hey, I'm glad you had a nice week. It sounds like the wedding was amazing. where was the venue? So, you know, you're talking to them, you're asking questions, but then that second little block of text is your follow-up, which is like, have you had a chance to watch the clip I sent through? If you like, would you like me to add you into our cleanse support page so you can have a look around? I always try and finish my messages with a question mark.
Gotcha.
So just restructuring the message around so it ends with a question mark. Even though you've asked all this, you know, you could have said a few things and asked them a question up above about, you know, the wedding that they attended on the weekend. Generally, people only ever answer your last question.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that's good. That's great.
Yeah, so the first part's relationship building, and then it's the actual follow-up itself. Now, most of my aim, it's like, so the kind of order that I go in is trying to get them on a call. Then it's getting them to a like an info session, or getting them getting them info session. If they then, like, if they don't want to get on a call and they're not coming to a launch party, then it's the Life page. And then if they're still like, and then if they're in the Cleanse Your Life page and they're still just floating around, then it's like just keeping them notified about events and things like that. But it's just kind of, I find for myself, there's no specific, like, do it this way. You have to really feel into each person. And you'll know, really build that relationship with them. You know, some hate phone calls. And I'm trying to get people on phone calls when I wouldn't get on a phone call with Ria when I started. She came and walked my dog in the park with me. So, like, and so, building the relationship, you can feel into who's going to want to get on a call, who's going to want to meet up face to face, who wants to go to a launch party where they can hide in the corner and not be so singled out. And then, so it's just the big thing I'm noticing for me, the shift in what I'm doing is just building relationships, getting to know people, and they kind of tell you what they need. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. And I guess the same goes for how Fibien's good at finding the tools. People are always like, well, what do I send people? And it's like, well, what do they want to know? It's like asking better questions, building that relationship, getting to know them better, and let them tell you. And one thing I love from Andrew Logan at Celebration was, what's going to be easier for you, for us to jump on a phone call or for you to jump on an online info sesh? And so it's like using the word easy. So then, well, now it's easy no matter which way you go, but what's easier? And you're giving two options, and then you're letting them choose. So you're not saying, oh, I think you should really jump on a call, or you should jump on this info sesh. It's like, what would be easier for you? And then give the options. And like you say, let them tell you, like, let them do the hard work rather than trying to figure it out and make assumptions. That's epic.
The cleanse support page is the best. It's great to try, and I'll even so if I'm getting them on a 3-way call, or you know, you're locking in a 3-way call, or you're locking in the information, I'll still ask if I can put them in support. The call, when I'm having a little snoop around, it's like, the cleanse support pages they do the work for you.
And my favorite thing is adding them in allows the best follow-up ever, and that's asking if they want to be removed. Like Georgie spoke about that one at ICE Uni as well, and it's just, you just get such a clear, because if they're like, I'm not in the right headspace, I'm not getting much from it, take me out, then that's like, that is awesome, because then you're no longer pissing someone off, you know exactly where they're at. But most of the time they come back and they're like, oh no, I'm loving it, it's just not the right timing, please leave me in, don't take me out. And so adding more and more people in there.
The other good thing with page, with your cleanse support page is, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay, sorry. With the cleanse support page, so you add someone in, and then as a follow-up, so you follow up, so in your calendar, you pop them for a follow-up the next day. So the follow-up for the next day is posting something in the cleanse page that would resonate with them.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're wanting to lose 40 kilos, you post a celebration about someone who's lost a lot of weight. Or if they're more of a sports person, you might post something about Team Isogenics. And because what happens, they get notified because you're their friend. They get notified when you're posting things. So then it's like, oh, okay. They get a notification and it's there ready to go. Or even if there's something else that you, depending on the situation. So for example, if someone wants to lose 40 kilos and there's a great post in there about someone that's lost 40 kilos, possibly not the best idea to tag them in the post saying, check this out, because might be a sensitive issue. But if it's like someone, wants to, if it's like a sporty person or someone that wants to improve their fitness, great post about that, you can, write a comment saying, hey, Sarah, what you might like to post, check it out, have a read, let me know what you think, something like that.
Yeah. And also, because of the algorithms, even if you don't tag them, especially the more sensitive ones, even just you commenting it, sometimes they get notifications on that and it bumps it up to the top of the page. So even if you don't want to tag someone in it, just comment on that photo that you want them to see, and chances are they're going to see it. And
there's so many different ways you can follow up, and as long as you're doing a lot, people are going to fall through. Oh, sorry. The great thing as well, I heard, who did this about the photos on your phone? I heard this on I think it was on a Rachel Pedretti Zoom. So on your phone, keep a separate folder in your photos of just save pictures of all the epic transformations that we see on IsaBody Challenge page and the Be Well page and just generally around. And so if you're in person with someone, and you might be sitting on the train, you're talking, you can, and you're like, oh yeah, I do, I help people transform their bodies and blah blah blah, and oh really, does it work? And you can be like, well, open up the photos. Like, oh yeah, this is and they're like, oh, if I'm sitting next to a guy, it can be like scroll through, oh, there's men
shredded, yeah.
And so that I've found is helpful as well for following people up in person. I actually had a girl at a wedding a few weeks ago before I'd started doing that, and she is one of my prospects who I'm chatting to. And we got chatting at the wedding, and then she's like, oh, I want to lose like 30 kilos. Do you think I actually could? I've had kids. Is it? And so I immediately thought of the Rachel from New Zealand who was in the IsaBody one. And I was like, yes, it's so possible. So I got on like Facebook and I'm searching and I can't remember her surname. And then I got into finally found her profile, and I'm trying to hold a conversation at the same time. Got into her profile, then I couldn't find that amazing picture because it was from a while ago.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep the conversation going, and eventually I showed her proof. But yeah, it's just little things like that that help you just get the ball rolling. Yeah.
Yeah, love it. And when you add someone in who's interested, do you do a welcome post for them and say they're interested, or do you just... Oh, am I back?
Yeah. Anyone that we add into our cleanse support page, so even if they're just interested, we always do a post because that just gives we do interested, we say like welcome, we talk about a little bit about their goals, not too personal, but
Yeah.
touch on might be want to drop a few kilos and get back their energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens, all these people comment underneath and they get that amazing sense of how incredible this community is. And, there might be one or two people that have the exact results that they're looking for. And so it's just, the cleanser, it's that third party validation. So the 3-way calls and the cleanse support page, it's other people doing the work for you.
Yeah.
People, like how many people are in relationships where you tell your partner, and it's not until they hear it from someone else that they then think it's the most amazing thing ever. And so it's exactly, and especially I find with people that we know, like friends, they've seen all the different things that you've done and tried, and they just don't, they need to hear it from someone else. So whenever you can use other people as a tool or as a follow-up or as, evidence, yes, the cleanse support page is the Be Well page. Anytime you can do that, it's just, take the opportunity, because it is so much more powerful having it come from someone else than yourself.
Yeah. And then linking it back to follow-ups, it would just make following up just that much easier. Because all those little touch points are there for them.
Yeah. And especially, like it gives you, if it's someone else, you can be like, oh, did you see that so-and-so that commented on the post? She lost 30 kilos as well, or, did you, it's just, yeah,
love it.
Use up as much as you can.
Yeah. Love it. Thanks so much. There's been some I reckon this has been the most income producing activity call that we've probably done. I don't know about you guys watching, but I'm getting I can only see one face, and that's Tanya's, and I know she's loved it as well. But that's so good, Laura. Thanks so much for sharing all those little knowledge bombs with us.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, and I'm glad you got something out of it.
Yeah, a lot.
I know for me, overwhelm's a big thing, and I do a lot to get the mindset right. But there's nothing like action to overcome overwhelm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then that system creates the clarity for you to take the action. So it's awesome. Well, if anybody's got any questions, otherwise we'll wrap it up there. I'll stop the recording, and if everybody can just unmute themselves and give Laura a bit of love for taking the time to enlighten us all.
Thanks, Laura.
Thanks, Laura.
Thanks.
That's
great.
So
Thank
good.
you very much, Laura.
So
we're in the dark.
good. Yeah. The dark face.
Much appreciated. That was awesome.